One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
Why can't every day be like this? No Simple Road. Yeah, no, I've been on that road too.
Midnight. We're going to let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. It's hanging out. Can you see it? I hope you can't see it. It's be weird. Hey now, No Simple Road family, this is Aaron.
Hola, this is Mel.
And this is Apple. Insert 22-minute guitar solo here.
What? Oh. Okay, we could do that. That was only like 3 or 4 seconds.
I know.
You gotta keep going.
That's like,
That's
you
just
can
a
just like
taste.
multiply that in your head, like keep hearing.
So if you're wondering, you've tuned into this week's episode of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind, brought to you in collaboration with the Edible Beats out of Denver, Colorado.
The Edible Beats. We are
Beats.
so really, really happy to have them back. I want all of you out there to really understand that
The gravity of the situation, man.
seriously, because Edible Beats is like working for something that you've been wanting to work with your whole life, or that you know, something that you respect a lot, and now you get to collaborate with them. This is a huge honor for us. And so it's more about sponsoring an episode. It's about the actual collaboration that we get to do together. And I'm proud of that.
I am too, man. And if you think about like even what the name means, the Edible Beats.
That's what I was going to say. The name is awesome. Edible Beats.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like people to
the
go.
way that music makes you feel when you're at a concert, and that moment when time stops and you and the music become one, and everything in your life falls away, and the only important thing is right there then in that moment. And they are taking that feeling and infusing it into everything that they do.
Wow.
With creating food and spaces and venues and the way they treat their employees. So go do some research on the internet. Go check out the Edible Beats. And if you happen to live in Denver or fly through the Denver airport, you can hit up one of their amazing restaurants and have the experience of eating the musical experience of the thing that we love the most.
I highly recommend going back and listening to the episode with Justin Cucci, and really like taking it in. This is like, you know, something you that's so like I can't underscore how impactful it was for me.
Yeah, it was a big deal talking to Justin.
Yeah.
And today's guest also is one of those impactful, amazing conversations. We have
very much so.
Braden Jasper
joining
us this week for a guest spot on the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind. Braden is a No Simple Road family member, works for Lost Sailor Leather. He owns his own art collective and wire wrapper, poi spinner, wook extraordinaire, and entrepreneur,
a down homie.
Yeah, and a fucking down homie too.
He is a down.
He is.
You know what? And always a friendly face in the crowd.
Yeah.
When you see his face, you feel like, oh, okay, like it's like a stopping point, like you can rest.
Yeah.
I'd say he's always smiling and he's always dapper.
Yeah.
He always
Braden's
like
always
on
looking good.
point. Yeah. Yes. Ready
Shout
to
out
go.
Braden. You're always looking good.
We love you, buddy.
You know, No Simple Road is a lot of things, but for the three of us, it's basically our life. And
basically,
when we come down here to record these episodes, it's not like there's no like character that's being portrayed here on the mic. This is just us doing our thing. And the separation between what is the show and what is real life has completely disappeared.
Yeah, there is no
it's
separation.
Devolved.
Yeah, and one of the I would say the greatest joy of doing the show is making the connections with people like Braden and realizing that you have found another member of your found family.
Yes,
and to have the honor of having a platform that anybody even listens to is a huge deal. But I think with No Simple Road, taking those connections and those relationships and then putting them on the platform so that other people can see what these amazing people are doing and feel the love and the vibe and connect with them too is like the highest mission of what we can do as No Simple Road. Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Did I say that okay?
Yeah, you said
been a long day.
You said that very well. Like we have created a foundation, and it's honorable. Like that people want to come on, and that we're able to provide this.
Yeah,
to get the people, to get the word out there on these people that love us so much and that we love so much. And
I think what's great is that we have found the ideal way to capture the beautiful relationships and the sweetest parts of life, because there's a lot of really hard parts of life.
Yeah, and those really sweet moments are fleeting and disappear so quickly, and then they just drift off into memory.
That's why these conversations are always amazing. It doesn't matter if it was like a 3-year ago conversation. You hear that conversation, you feel like it's for now. You feel like it's like, whoa, you were in it.
You know, in Jurassic Park, when they show the guy's cane and it's got that amber at the top of the cane, and there's like mosquito in there, and like that's where they got the DNA for the dinosaurs. That's what these conversations are. They're a time capsule encapsulation in amber of these moments that we can take into the future with us to remind us, even when times are bad, you need a reminder, but also when times are good, it's also good to infuse yourself even more with the positivity and the connection.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you can like use these conversations as medicine for yourself in either situation. And I know I do it for me, and I'll sit down and listen as a spectator. Like I put myself in third person and pretend I'm listening to somebody else do No Simple Road, which is weird, but I can actually do that now after 6 years of doing
Congratulations,
this thing.
baby. It's taken you a while to get
I
here.
can listen objectively to the show and not be like, Jesus Christ, I said like 6,000 times.
Nitpicking yourself.
And you can hear my nose whistling and no. But I think that like beyond the musicians that we bring on the show and the big artists and all that stuff, this is the most important stuff that we do. Like having Andrew Sachs on and having Braden on and Young and Sick.
Sean McLean.
Yeah. These
Long Strange Putt.
Yes.
Cam.
Yes. These relationships are the things that need to be highlighted and shown so that other people have a roadmap to follow when they feel that connection with other people, and we like to second guess ourselves.
And when we talk, like in the back of my head, I have the theme going in my head, like, who are the people in your neighborhood?
Yeah, no shit.
The people that you meet each day. Because this is who we see at the festivals and at the shows all the time.
Yeah, these are definitely the people that are in our neighborhood. Let's give you a round of applause for Apple.
Yeah, thank you.
These are the people in our neighborhood.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Would you? What else? What do you want to thank?
And the people in my neighborhood
cool.
that I see each day.
Right on.
I love you all. Well, so weekly rewind.
Weekly rewind.
Weekly rewind. We had a great weekend.
Oh,
yeah, cool. All right, we're gonna move on now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, then we'll start by this is a odd one. Start with me and Aaron had a boys' night out.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
On
Friday. Mel was tired, and
I'll go. I'll talk about why I was tired.
Yeah,
on my
you
weekend.
start because that started it off. You went and did a thing.
Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah,
now?
go ahead.
Yeah, that's
okay.
in order. You did your Thursday
Kick
thing.
it off,
Mama. My Friday is on Wednesday.
But your Thursday's on a Monday, so Tuesday's Saturday.
But no, I went to Eugene for a really powerful women's I'm going to call it a summit. I don't even think we realized it was going to be a summit.
A witches' summit?
Yeah, but it was a fucking summit. It was a very impromptu summit. And we really worked through some stuff. So at the very last minute, Tiffany called me up and was like, hey, do you want to go down and, get down to Eugene? Do you think you can get away and come spend the night at Andrea's and hang out? So I was thinking, yeah, we're gonna do some cool, fun. I'll bring my tarot cards, I'll bring some incense, I'll bring lights, I'll bring all this fun stuff. And I did. And then coming to find out, Andrea had gotten us Balkan Bump tickets. Balkan Bump.
If you don't know, go check them out.
You really need to check him out. This trumpet player, he was phenomenal. And he had a dancer who I've never really
wait. What's the music like?
Okay, so the music is a lot of bass dropping, so a lot of bass. So it's like
Snake Charmer music?
Yeah, like Snake Charmer, like EDM, but also live trumpets and live clarinet.
Oh,
and
shit.
live sitar. And interchangeable stringed instruments between a sitar and other kind of weird.
Between what?
I don't know what I was gonna say between anything, but
this is a little sample of Balkan Bump.
But it was so high energy.
Oh wow!
Oh shit!
I'm telling you, you guys don't even know. This is the kind of stuff. So we have these 4 women in this summit going to a concert. You have to turn it on because I'm not going to remember.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was the perfect breeding ground for healing. We literally, the ecstatic dance. We don't really talk about that too much here. There's a thing that's maybe it's TM trademark, ecstatic dance.
Yeah.
But there's a not just dancing ecstatically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of what it was. It was this nice ability to just kind of
move your energy out.
Because we were all, there was a lot of dialogue. Women love to get together and talk.
Yeah, you guys talk a lot.
But then it has to move out, So it was great for that. We had spent the whole entire evening dialoguing and coming to
consensus?
Yeah, like, well, just like a common ground, right? Like coming to a common ground. And then we went to Balk and Bump and shook it out, and then came back home and did an incredible tarot reading.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
No, we did a really,
Mel got secrets.
I do got secrets. I have a lot of secrets. I hold a lot of people's secrets because they know they can tell me, and it's legit. I won't say nothing.
So Mel comes home. This was
we were up till, let me just say this. We were up till almost 5 a.m. doing tarot.
Friday morning.
Yeah, Friday morning. And Friday evening we had string dusters. And I was very well aware of that. But the Balk and Bump was the one that was kind of like thrown on me. I didn't know we were going to do a concert.
Yeah. So Mel comes back from Eugene, and Friday I get off work and I'm getting ready to go see Dusters, and Mel's laying down. I go in the room to get her. I'm like, hey, shows at 7. It's like 5. I was like, we're going to leave at 6. And she's completely out asleep. And I was like, you don't have to go, you can, if you want to sleep, you could totally just stay in bed.
I absolutely wanted to go because it's friggin' Chris Pandolfi. And like, just playing banjo every time. I want to go to a banjo concert every time because I just want to be able to like hear the sound, and I want to like pay attention to it. And so I was really bummed, but it was one of those bummed that
you couldn't get out of bed to be bummed.
I couldn't get out of bed to be bummed, and I had been blessed so much the night before with that female energy and like just all of that stuff that I had gone through unexpectedly, that I was more than okay with missing a concert. And I thought that it was cute that you guys were going together.
Yeah, it was
like a boys' night.
Aaron came and said that to you. He's like, well,
it's dude's
me
night.
And you, dude. And that's unusual. I've missed more things than any of the three of us here because of work scheduling and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this will be kind of fun,
interesting,
and different. And the sweet part of it too is we went to the show at Revolution Hall, and we'd seen String Dusters a couple times, but only in like a festival setting at Northwest String Summit. So, it's a little more, it's a festival, more of an abbreviated show.
It's not their thing.
It's not their thing. And this was just them. They had no opener. And they played the hell out of it. And
dude, the Sugar Magnolia, Casey Jones, Another Brick in the Wall, Possum. And then all of their music, like the extended jams from their songs, it was peppered all throughout this. It was such an amazing set. And then afterwards, me and Aaron headed back to the car. We were just getting in the car, getting ready to leave because we wanted to see Chris and the guys if we had a chance to, but we don't. Not gonna be like, hey,
that like the nudge hanging around, and then we're just getting in the car, and Chris Pandolfi
hey,
texts Aaron and was like, hey, I'm out front. Where are you guys? And we immediately both jumped back out of the car, locked it up, and walked to the couple blocks back to hang out. And I did make sure to tell Chris that I was like, Mel, Mel couldn't make it tonight. She was tired, but that you're one of her banjo heroes, and she is really missing. And he was like, oh, you tell Mel I love her, and I understand.
It was a trip to see.
He loves me. Thank you, Chris, for saying that. Like, you don't even, he knows, because we shared a moment in Denver
At
Ophelia's, and I was able to tell him, like, I was like fangirling on him. Like I've never really felt that. I think if you're new to No Simple Road, you may not know this, but like growing up, my mom kind of instilled in me, like, you don't really give your adoration away like that. Like
you weren't allowed to be a fan of shit.
I wasn't allowed to be a fan of anything.
That's
like
crazy.
You could like something, but that's it. Like you have a preference, that's fine. But like, so I never really like got into something like deep.
You weren't able to give.
Yeah, I wasn't able to give that. And so me even expressing fandom is weird. Do you know what I mean? And then, but I couldn't help it because I'm like, I like his attitude. I like the attitude of banjo players.
Well, and the trance banjo stuff is the coolest
Amazing.
shit ever. And
yeah,
I listen to it all the time like on my way to work. All the time.
Seeing the band after the show is a whole other thing. Like, he was shot out of a cannon.
Oh,
His
the
eyes were
adrenaline.
wide. The
Energized,
adrenaline was
probably.
going. He was like, "We did good. You guys think we did good?" Like, it was really cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad we
you guys
decided
wanted
to go
you guys
back.
wanted LaCroix. You wanted. He got me a beer.
Aw.
Opened it
So
up.
sweet, Chris.
yeah.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Look at you being hospitable in our town.
Yeah.
So sweet, Chris.
It was a
Thank you.
trip to like standing at the show with Apple, like having had done the live podcast at Ophelia's with Pandolfi. When the show ended, I was like, "Holy shit, Apple, dude, that's our friend up there.
Yeah, that's our friend.
That's a trip. That's a trip."
You know what made everything right was my panda banjo pin.
Oh, good.
that
Thank you,
pin.
babe.
Those
Thank you for
pins are
doing that.
beautiful.
That was real. I just imagined Chris like in my mind's eye when Aaron left, and then he brought that panda pin, and I kind of like in my mind's eye put those two things together. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like on top of each other with the banjo playing. So
Aw.
you
And we-
know what I mean?
and
And
we-
I fell
and-
asleep to that.
And we all got something because me and Aaron, Bobbsey twins
Bobbsey
here,
twins.
we both bought the same shirt. That mushroom design is so dope.
If the Dusters come through your town and you haven't seen them, please do yourself a favor and go check it out. You're gonna have the time of your life.
Mhm.
It's amazing. That's all I have to say about that.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So that was Friday night.
and
Yeah,
then
that's Friday night. That's not even like the whole weekend yet.
yesterday, we had the immense
Oh my
pleasure
gosh.
of seeing Dogs in a Pile open for Pigeons Playing Ping Pong. And, I have a lot to say about the whole show. Dogs in a Pile, you guys continue to astound and amaze me with your musicianship and just your talent and all of it. Pigeons, what the fuck, man?
I feel like that's deserving.
Seriously,
I feel like that's deserving.
all you folks that clown pigeons playing ping
Ooh,
pong,
clown. Put them in front
all
of
you
me.
people that clown pigeons on
yeah,
the internet
yeah.
can
On the
kiss my
internet?
ass. Those guys got their shit together. That band is tight. They know exactly what they're doing. It's fun, it's funny, and it's deep as fuck if you spend the time to pay attention.
And it is grooving. It
Oh,
was
funky.
It was
as-
at the Crystal Ballroom last night, and Crystal Ballroom is the one that has it's like the shock loaded floor, so it kind of floats. And man, that floor,
Dude,
was
I've never
fucking
felt the floor do
it
that
was
there before.
buckling and moving
Pumping.
like crazy. They brought the funk, the dance grooves, like everything.
I'm obviously, we've been to many shows at the Crystal Ballroom and I've felt the floor move. I've never felt the floor do what it did last
No,
night.
it was
like
buckling.
it was like a mycelial network.
yeah.
When somebody would like stomp their foot 20 feet away, you could feel the vibe from it hit you. And it was like a transmission beacon.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I have to say that Pigeons Playing Ping Pong took us somewhere brand new last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still kind of at a loss for words for what went down at Pigeons last night because I was shocked. I was
Really?
I couldn't believe
They shut you up?
Yeah.
Wow. Pigeons shut Mel up. everybody.
I couldn't believe what was happening. I'm like, am I really able to feel this right now? Like, I couldn't believe that it was so eloquent and so perfectly suited for that evening.
Yeah.
Like in conjunction with our week and our weekend.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like Pigeons knew what was happening and just brought us there in the most unique, eccentric, fun, and uncanny way.
You know, this is going to sound silly, but the music never lies. It doesn't.
No.
Okay.
The music
No,
never lies.
True.
It tells the
Mhm.
truth every time.
Yeah.
100% of the time, every time. It gives you exactly what you need in the moment if you're available for that thing to show up for you.
Yes.
And if you're open and waiting for it, what you get is exactly what the doctor ordered every time. It doesn't lie. It doesn't come with some half-baked bullshit. It gives you the goods. And I think that's why a lot of us do what we do, like with Braden traveling around the country, going from festival to festival, like
following this thing
following the
everywhere,
magic and being a part of it and helping create it. And
I got to say, last night too, it was so fun. And all of you guys, Dogs in a Pile, we love you so much.
Yeah.
You like make the effort to come hang out with us.
That's
Kinda
so
go
sweet.
That was sweet.
Go
man.
out of your way
So
to hang out with
sweet.
us. I got to talk to everybody other
I
than
didn't get to talk to
Jimmy. I
everybody.
think
I
Jimmy
love
had
you all.
things to do afterwards, but I really enjoyed having a great conversation with Brian and Jeremy. Joey, I just got to see for a second, little fist bump, but Sam came and hung out with us for most of the pigeon set.
The second set.
The second set, hanging out and everything, and the love that Jimmy gave from the stage for Jenny.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
About his strap. He was wearing his new strap last night, and you could see how like elated and happy he was, and to give her the shout out from the stage. You guys are a class act.
Hell yeah.
Aww.
We love you guys. I was glad that you were kind of bummed too. Last two
right.
times you've been to town, you've come and stayed with us. But the van and everything was working good, so you guys were mobile, had things to do. But we missed getting to hang out with you like at our home.
Yeah,
But
we did
you
miss
know,
that.
you always got a place here when you come through this town.
Getting to see Jimmy with Jenny's strap.
Yeah.
That's such a trip, man.
I know.
To see like all the connecting points and the dots come together, and like how big this community is, not just the No Simple Road family, but like the jam band family.
That's why you said the numbers thing this morning, and I was just like,
What?
Well,
numbers do lie. Numbers actually do lie sometimes.
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
true.
just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, it's a game. That's a game.
I'm throwing it out
It's-
there, guys.
it's
gals,
funny, too, 'cause
everybody out there.
I asked both of Sam and Brian both want straps from Jenny now that Jimmy has his.
Having
So
the-
we'll probably see Dogs in a Pile all strapped up
Heck
pretty
yeah.
soon.
if you don't follow Beadwork by Jenny, go check out the amazing straps that she's made for like Devin Allman and
Dude, she's
Bob
been pumping
Weir
out
and
some
O'Teal.
incredible art pieces through those straps.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it
those
is-
are like magical totem items.
well, you see it and you feel like it's already something. Like wait, you know,
It's
like
infused with some mojo. in
You
that-
don't just
yeah.
like, it's not just like a thing that lays there with no purpose. It's like, holy cow, what is this? How, like, it's
And every time you
amazing.
touch one of her pieces of work, like last night, it was so she's like, pick it up and feel it. The cover from the book, she had that piece laying on the table, and I never thought in my life like beadwork would have a texture like a fine silk or something. Like
yeah.
it's got a feel to it because of the beads. She's explained to us before and kind of explains that, you know, all the different types of beads that are used and stuff and the certain grades of them. And it feels like fabric.
That's
It's like it's got this touch to it, her stuff that's just amazing. When you get to hold one of her pieces, it is just mind blowing.
yeah, and she's doing a book tour right now.
Yes, she is.
If she comes through where you're at, go check it out. It's pretty fucking amazing what she's creating with just a loom and some beads. It's
and her mind,
straight
dude.
up magic.
She's a freaking artist.
You know, that's the really cool thing about this huge community is there's so many talented people and everybody is like pumping their passion out into the world, and it's taking all these different and disparate forms and it's putting beauty and love out into the world that's like vibrating this message out. And it's really cool if you're paying attention what's happening.
Yeah.
They're really I was talking to somebody last night and they were saying, you know, there is like a quiet revolution happening right now. you can actually like have ketamine delivered to your door through Instagram. On Instagram, like you can sign up for like Mind Bloom, and there's different services that'll send ketamine right to your house. And if you think about what that means, the depth of
how far we've come,
like in 10 years ago, the thought of having psychedelics delivered to my door by the mailman, unless you were doing the dark web, like that's not a thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh yeah, my therapist said I should take these lozenges. And
it's removed like the paranoia and the stigma.
And that shit is lighting people up.
Yes, it is.
And what's happening is they're getting turned on. And so what happens next is you get turned on, you start realizing that the world around you is not what you thought it was. And then you need community.
Yes.
You need people around you that have been in the game for a minute to like help you walk the road that's not simple.
Well, and it's amazing too that like you mentioned ketamine, but like the MDMA therapy and the psilocybin therapy, living in the age we do where it's now recognized, kind of cannabis has now been recognized as medicine, and it's several years in, more states are going legal.
You can't deny it anymore.
We're seeing that this is recognized as medicine, and that stigma is being taken away so that people can actually have control of healing themselves.
Well,
we're always supposed to heal ourselves. You know, there's like this thing in the community of, I will put in air quotes, healers, right? Where people don't like to call themselves healers because you're not really healing anybody. But when somebody's in front of you as a client, you're giving them the opportunity, the space, allowing the space or holding the space for them to transform.
If you were legit, would it be better to call yourself a conduit and not a healer?
Yes, a conduit is much better because
I'm a conduit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a PVC pipe. You are a conduit.
Well, this is the thing, like, especially when I've like done Reiki and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm, I don't know what's wrong with this person or why they wanted Reiki or anything like that. Okay, so they're in front of me, and now whatever my hands tell me to do, that's what is, that's where I'm going to go with it. So it's all intuitive.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you can have this delivered to your door now. You know what I mean? Like the healing can be delivered right to your house. That's craziness. And the thing that's waiting for people on the other side of that is community.
Community.
That's the thing that has to be waiting there, because going it alone is sure, you can give it a shot. You know what I mean? I did it for a while. You can do it, I guess, but it's way easier when you got people in your corner and somebody to like help carry the load. Yeah,
and somebody that cares about the same things that you do. And like we were talking last night, me and the girls, and it was like we all love and care about each other's daughters, and we want them to be doing well and want them to have happy lives. And sometimes in the hustle and bustle of life, we forget that. We don't say that. We don't let it be known, because we're so busy, not necessarily because we don't feel it.
When you strip away all the bullshit, all the like political party and biases and this, that, the other thing, at the end of the day, we're all fucking human beings.
Yeah.
And we all are made of energy and vibration and frequency, and we all want the same thing. We want to be happy. We want to be safe. We want to be loved. And
comfort,
we want
food.
And we want to make people feel good. And that's what it is at the end of the day. So when you strip all that away and you realize that, and you find other people that are feeling that same thing, that's the community that I'm talking about. And as far as revolution goes, you're not seeing it out in the streets. You're not seeing, you're not going to see that thing with burning trash cans and kicking stuff over and marching in the street. This is
not trying to get that kind of attention.
No, this is happening on a level of consciousness. This is happening on under the surface kind of a thing that's going on. And it's wild to be alive right now, to be witnessing this time in history that we're at right now, Terrence McKenna actually talked about this happening. He said it's going to get so weird out there that people are going to have no choice but to be like, what the fuck is going on? Like cognitive dissonance is going to get to such a point where it's like, I have to figure out another way to think. And that's when these technologies, these medicines are going to break through and start giving their information to people. And so that's where we're at, man. And it's a wild fucking time to be alive. It
really is wild.
And it's an equally wild time to have a platform.
It is
and a microphone
wild.
in front of your mouth.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute.
Well, I started tripping on AI last night, and I was on AI. I was like, oh my God, AI can literally make anything I say horrible or great. Like they can string together enough. I've said enough things online.
Okay. I got you.
For it to create anything that
there's got to be a human on the other side of that maneuvering it, though.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I know. But it's the capabilities are there.
It's crazy.
And that is what's weird. Where before it was like in your mind's eye, it was a dream. But sometimes you think, oh, it's so far away, it'll never happen. Like 3,000.
No, we're here.
Like year 3000 or something, right?
We're in it.
But that's what we felt like before, like the year 2000. Whoa, that was crazy.
Yeah,
now we're 23 years into the year 2000. Like what? We're in the future already.
Never believed that was years ago.
No, being
Like,
in the
doesn't
future
exist.
and part of this wild time to be alive and all this stuff going on and AI and all the technology. Let's take it back to grassroots and be like, yo, we're going to talk about friendship and community and how to make your passion be the thing that supports you and sustains you.
Yes.
Let's strip all that other shit away.
That's back
and
to
get down
basics.
brass tacks.
Yeah.
And so that's what this is.
That's what this conversation is with Braden. Like he came to the studio. It was kind of rainy that day, I remember. And
Producer Corey was here.
Yep. We all sat down here and had a really cool conversation, and it just felt really good. And
stoked to share this with you all.
Yeah, really stoked to share it. And I hope you enjoy. And Braden, thanks again for being part of the No Simple Road family.
Love you, brother.
And we love you.
Yeah.
And we support you, man.
Yeah.
Got your back.
Hey, you know all the business stuff, man. Dude, follow the No Simple Road family at No Simple Road. You can go to our website and buy merch and get tarot readings and all that stuff. You can call 971-808-1524. That's the tepid line. You can leave a 3-minute message saying whatever you want. You could get super lit.
I want to say this.
And be laying in your bed and call 971-808-1524 at 3 o'clock in the morning and ramble some bullshit, and I'll play it on the show.
So, gosh, now I forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay. You're allowed. Also, you can go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Now listen to me. This is important. We live in a world of financial and monetary concerns.
Okay, Patreon. Hold on.
What?
Pause that.
Okay, we're pausing.
Something is happening on Patreon. Aaron is talking about Patreon. Something's happening on Patreon. Like.
Come on.
Well, I've been doing the card of the day. So it's been between Oracle decks or tarot card of the day on Patreon. And it's consistently inconsistent. I'm trying to strive for 5 days a week.
Okay.
But I, didn't do it. And then I did one day on the weekend. Blah, blah. Yeah, I'm getting there, babe. Aaron's rushing me. There's a point to all of this. The whole Patreon. It's getting infused into the NSR life. Like, the people that listen to the show, the people that are close to the show, this is our mycelial network,
Yep.
And so doing these tarot readings or the pulling of each card of the day, it's in getting rippling out into the family. And I saw that this weekend with the people that we had at our house and the people that we were at the concert with, and looking back over the reading for the week and seeing how it's working. And I just wanted to say thank you to our Patreon supporters, because it's really because of you guys that I'm doing something more, and whether y'all like it or not, or responding to it or not, I'm doing it because I think it's worthwhile. And now it's kind of like showing its face.
The fruit. It's bearing fruit.
It's bearing fruit. Exactly.
Yeah.
Somewhere else
fully.
in there.
I agree.
I feel with the Patreon too that I'm really starting to enjoy it
Mm-hmm.
more than, because like social media is out there for everybody. Patreon is our dedicated
It's our
friends,
space.
family,
Yeah.
community. I can be more open myself, and I know if you're a Patreon, you're there
Because you want to be.
because you want to know what
Yeah.
else we're doing, and I'm having fun doing the movie reviews and posting videos of shows we're going to and just different things. I never know quite what I'm going to do till I do it.
That's cool, man.
And and now I've actually got on myself a couple of, I was like, I didn't post something. I told Aaron, it's like, I'm going to do Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Well, that's like a template. Wednesday we were like busy with something, so then I posted on Thursday.
Yeah, we get it, man.
And it's fun. I'm getting more into it. I got more.
The point is that
Well,
it's
by the time you hear
changed
this,
things.
there will be videos up from pigeons, dogs in a pile. A lot of clips.
Yeah.
I love taking videos and throwing those up there for you guys to see. So if you're not a Patreon and you want to see all this stuff, we're putting a lot of content up there. Me, Aaron, and Mel. I love Aaron's coffee nerd corner stuff.
Hell yeah.
And it's really cool. And also, again, thank you again to Corey, producer Corey, for
man.
kind of that helped give
Giving
us
the push.
a kick in the butt to make this thing better.
Hey guys, this is your thing. You should probably do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
It's our thing. So that's the whole thing. Like,
That's the whole thing.
if you want to be part of that mycelium, go over there, help us spread the thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway,
We're doing something really big underground. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say
you're
right
not.
now.
You gotta be quiet about it.
But there's an awakening happening, and if you want to be part of it, be part of it.
On December
all.
7th, No Simple Road is hosting the No Simple
Yeah.
Road Holiday Get Down at the Get Down with members of
Whoop,
Lost
whoop, whoop.
Ox, Sponge, Family Mystic, World's Finest, Garcia Birthday Band. There's one. I'm missing one. Bodhi Mojo. Jesus Christ. The most important.
Bodhi Mojo.
And you don't know what's going to happen there. It's going to be a set of
No.
original music, a set of covers, and a set of Grateful
You
Dead
can
music.
say that?
Yeah, I can say that. And
Yeah,
with conversation with us, tickets are available now. You can go to nosimpleroad.com. You can also go to the getdownpdx.com. Get your tickets. Come to our holiday party. It's going to be dope as
Yeah.
fuck. I promise you we're going to have a good time.
And we've already heard like all the musicians involved are already rehearsing together and stuff, and we hear it's
We hear good
going to
things.
be amazing.
Yeah, I hear good things.
We're making plans. More plans were made this morning of things and such.
and whatnot.
Things and such and-
Anyway,
It's gonna be a
hoot. All right. So without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Braden Jasper.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What's going on?
Hey.
Welcome to the house.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. This is a different kind of a scene right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
We have people in the No Simple Road studio.
We got Braden here.
Yay,
Hey.
Braden.
Braden, tell everybody who you are.
Doesn't he
and what's
deserve?
going on.
Braden deserves
Yeah.
applause.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Braden.
Hey, Braden.
Let's hear it for him. Everybody.
But we
Darwin
have
got excited.
okay, but we're gonna have one more round of applause because we have producer Corey is in town.
Yeah.
So yay, Woo!
Hey, Corey.
Yeah. So we got
Visiting all the way from Boston, Mass.
What up?
What's up, Corey?
All right.
Boston.
Braden,
Yes.
what's cooking, man?
Oh, not much.
Not much.
Festival season's finally winding to an end. I'm
Yeah,
exhausted.
tell the people what do you do?
Yeah, introduce
Festival?
Braden.
Yeah,
Jasper.
what-
to the world.
I am a traveling gypsy. I'm a big supporter of the art and music scene. I own my own art collective. I'm also a jeweler or wire wrapper, and work for Lost Sailor Leather and Spinfire and do all sorts of festival stuff to where luckily has gotten me my foot in the door for a lot of, awesome things and growth in my businesses and stuff.
I say you do a lot of awesome things. That blew my mind. The you're doing all these other things and you're like spinning fire, you're like doing fire, and it's like just, holy shit!
It all kind of goes hand in hand, you know.
A lot of tricks.
Yeah, and it's just
but you say it goes hand in hand, and I know what you mean. But to everybody out there
in our scene,
what is our scene? How would you describe our scene, and how are you part of it?
That is a deep question.
It's deep because you're deep.
Oh wow. No, thank you.
You know,
it is. It's just all. It's kind of like how I look at hip hop and how like from that came graffiti and like dance, like all these little subgenres of things that probably might not have ever connected was brought by the music. So the music brings a lot of talented folks together, and also just like after the fact, I don't know, just like I go to festivals more so nowadays to see what live painters are going to be there, or what vendors are going to be there, and it's like that's another aspect of the music scene itself. And then so it's just it's a nice little flavor to it all and a little spice.
How did you, like, you and I have spoken obviously off air and stuff, but you had mentioned to me about Fair and how Fair was so pivotal and huge for you as a human being. Like, can you tell me a little bit about that more in depth?
I would love to. Yeah. So Oregon Country Fair is a very near, dear and place to my heart. I've grown up in the Pacific Northwest my whole life.
Oh, you have?
Yep. Local boy, native.
Right on.
Oregon Country Fair was always this like story of like grandeur from my buddies, because I think they were seniors. My first year I was 19, so I was the year after, but you'd hear him talk about it, or even like, I guess they went 2 years before that, but you'd hear him talk about these stories all year. It's like, it can't be this cool, like whatever. And then you show up and you're just in this horse field in the sun, and then, you know, because you're just in the campgrounds and stuff. I'm like, all right. And then nighttime hits, and it's like, okay. And like the first time ever being there was like first time ever seeing fire spinning and wire jewelry. So there's a big.
How old were you?
I was 19.
Okay.
But a big catalyst moment in my life of just like seeing art and things I've never even seen before. Just like really like made me like, how is this even legal and like possible and exist, you know? But also just like the beauty of country fairs, the love and the energy, and it really is like a perfect festival as far as just what the intentions of like community building and appreciating the arts and loving everybody there. And but yeah, it's a very, very special place, and I owe my life where it is now to that place.
That's a big statement.
Yeah. What transpired during that weekend for you that made you be able to say this?
Psychedelics didn't hurt. But just
how, in what way did it like help you to get where you know what I mean? That vision, or
just
that
the
feeling.
set and setting type of thing there. It's just the people you meet, and just like the love in the air when everyone's greeting you all day with happy fair, like the happiness is truly in the air. And it's a place where it's like you see magic, literally. Like the only way to describe certain things you see or feel or smell or hear is magic. And it's beautiful. And it really was just like kind of, I feel like I found myself, found my tribe of people, found
who's yourself? Like what kind of
man?
Yeah, Mel.
Who's yourself?
Shit.
I guess I was always the floater, because I was like pretty smart kid, was athletic, also a stoner in high school. So like I knew everybody.
You had it all.
Yeah. Like, and pretty easy. Like I believe like no matter who you are, there's probably some common denominator or ground, or like if you just give it time, you'll figure out something to talk about, you know? So,
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm curious too, because like we went to our first time last year to fair. When you went your first time at 19, were you on a crew or anything?
No, just me and my
buddies.
Yeah, me and my party buddies. And funny enough, we went, I think it was until my third year, actually, I went inside fair. We were just always in the campground because like everything, you know, you didn't have to leave. You had the party was there.
Right,
yeah.
But then you go inside fair, and I always best describe it as like Circus Soleil meets a Zelda village meets the Grateful Dead. You know, it's just like
Zelda village.
And it's like it doesn't even do it justice, because like I said, the sounds and the smells and just the whole vibe.
Well,
but
you mentioned psychedelics and fair, and it really is the perfect container for that because it's safe.
Yeah.
You're safe to push your limit.
Right.
And I think many of us, including Apple,
Yeah, with the Whitebird Clinic.
I was just going to say shout out Whitebird.
we find our limit there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's a very, of all places to do so, like I've never been a Burning Man or anything, but it's just a community of people that aren't going to judge, number one, if you're in that state, because most likely they've probably been there before. And it's all just love, and everyone wants to be safe and happy and friendly, you know?
Yeah.
But
I think
so the interaction is so open that you can't help but open more deeper parts of yourself.
yeah, and that's exactly. Like it's the cheesy vibe attracts your tribe type of thing, but definitely it's I've met people there where it's like you're there obviously, and you have a lot in common because you're just standing next to that person.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just you start talking about what have you, foraging mushrooms or fucking snowboarding or even sports, and it's just really just breaking down just who people are.
It's funny that you say you found your tribe. Like that's literally the experience I had at my first Ed show.
Yeah.
Like walking into that and being like, oh shit, these people are like me. I'm like them. And then, but there's a journey between that.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole trip that has to happen between that realization moment and then like finding your footing in there.
Yeah.
Did you realize that you wanted to spend your life doing that?
Yeah.
There?
So that was actually the catalytic moments too. Like I think it was the first year I went inside fair. So my third year of going there, and camping, I partied my face off the first night and like spent all my money. And it was like, man, I was the wook, like, hey, you want to buy like some cool necklace, Yeah. But yeah, a guy, I think he bought I had like a little Asian like sun hat, and, I was walking and he's like, hey man, my girlfriend really likes that hat. Can I buy it? And it's like, yeah, I need gas money. And he's like, $30. I'm like, perfect. And he just whips out like a stack of money. And I'm like, man, I am doing this weekend wrong. And I've always been pretty like artistic and stuff. So it all started with I made a yearly sticker just to give out to people. And it was like an OCF 2000, whatever. And, from there, went to hand embroidered patches that were really unique and pretty cool, but the time it took to make them versus selling them is not profitable. And luckily, I met my ex-fiance, and her mom was a geologist, and I always loved rocks growing up, but she kind of just ran me through what's valuable, this and that, got me in the rock world. And luckily, just working all my jobs in the past growing up, I understood wholesaling pretty early on.
Oh, wow.
And I went down to Tucson for the first time for the World Gem show in 2013 and just saw this is where everyone comes to get the best price. And and then the rock games just kind of taken me to the next step, and then meeting Jared from Lost Sailor Leather. Shout out to him. He's just helped.
Shout out Jared.
I owe him an email.
Check out the piece I'm wearing.
Oh, nice. Yep, repping.
I love my wallet, man.
Yeah, man.
Best piece I've
He's
ever
a
had.
household name in the mark, but he was a big believer for me that you can kind of manifest anything in this world. When I first saw his work, he lived in Florida, so complete opposite end of the country. Never toured on the West Coast really. And then luckily bumped into him, I think in Gem and Jam that same year, 2013. And it was the second time I think doing a West Coast show. And I was just starting to make jewelry, and I loved his work. So I was like, hey man, I don't know if I can afford all this, but we do a half cash, half jewelry trade. And he was more than happy to. And so it was cool starting that relationship like that. Fast forward to a couple of years later, and I saw him at Symbiosis, and Shakedown was right, you had to walk through it every time you went through the gates. So I would hassle him every time I'd walk by, and just poke fun at him. And it's like, hey, I see you're moving to Portland. I love your work. I'd love to be your friend, And he's like, hey, I'm going to Art Outside in Texas in a month. If you can meet me in California, because he was staying there temporarily, you can, work this festival with me. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So 30-hour car ride. We became best friends because we just, had silence or just whatever.
Yeah.
And it was cool because we just really I've never really even talked to the guy.
What kind of car were you in?
We were in a van, a Nissan, I think it's NV300 or something.
Okay.
And yeah, rattly, doesn't have any like insulation or anything. And you got like the booth poles rattling and totes of leather and stuff. But yeah, we get down there, get set up for the festival. They start coming by saying, hey, like it's going to rain, be prepared. Like, hey, we're from the Northwest. Or I'm from the Northwest. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And I think it was during like Nightmares on Wax set, and it starts raining and raining and raining. And it's the outskirt of a hurricane. And we get dumped on for 4 days straight. And like you couldn't leave. It turned into clay. And our booth was set up and stuff. We lost a bunch of like high priced leather because it just got soaked and nasty. But I worked my butt off. We still got it all packed up. We got out of there when we could. And he's like, man, if you can handle this, you can handle anything. So it was a good instilling like silver lining. And yeah, we've been touring ever since then. So
that's wild.
So everything
since 2013.
2013. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's really like all these connections and your art and everything was born out of going to Oregon Country Fair and realizing, like you said, who you were and what you needed and wanted to do.
It helped catalyze it for sure, and like get me to thinking of like how to be more of a business and turn my passions into profit. Or at least like if I could break even.
Profit from your passion.
But yeah, profit from your passions, and like turning your like, if you are talented in some way, shape, or form, like really try, not selling yourself short and exposing it and trying to make a little money. Luckily, like with the jewelry, I've always looked at it as like it still has a physical monetary value. The silver is worth something. The gemstones are worth something. Everything else is kind of eye of the beholder type of thing, which is insane. It's, there's a lot of time involved and stuff, and paint costs this and that. But yeah, I've always stuck with like crystals and jewelry because there's an actual like physical.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's not an idea. I will sell you this idea, bro.
Braden, there's something important that you said about like in regards to turning your passions into profit, like having belief in yourself, and that's not easy to come by always.
No, not at all.
So how did that come? Is that something that came out of fair also, or was that something that you kind of had
I think
to start?
That was more so with just prior work experiences. I've did a lot of like just customer service sales stuff, and that really helped me because I have like kind of bad stage fright. I just like don't really like being the center of attention, but it helps break down that barrier of just like starting the conversation and starting the just breaking down the, hey, how are you? How's it going? I like your shirt, But also, like I said, with Jared, 1 year of touring with him, or one summer, I learned more than any classroom or just, book, because it was just life firsthand experience.
Yes.
Learning the pitch, understanding all the different angles of the business in like or in that field of business. Cause it is like, there's a lot of different facets and angles. And I've worked for a lot of just like kind of slimier, like just upselling cut gigs and stuff, and like promoting customer, like a product that it's not the best, but we have an abundance of or whatever. It's just like corporate stuff. And I always hated that side of business. So I love what I do with my art collective is I stand behind the artist and the art, and it kind of speaks for itself. So it's like you either like it or you don't, but it's all amazing, beautiful stuff.
And I don't have to try and like, hey, you should like this.
Right.
Because it's cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. So you should buy it. No, it's a totally different thing.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. When your heart and your soul are put into something, there's a weird stigma too against selling that shit because it's personal and you created it, and your energy and your time and your talent are in it. But for better or worse, the world that we live in, you have to have money to fucking survive in the world that we're in. So you have to figure out a way to reconcile that shit in yourself.
And a lot of us are our own worst critics as artists, like we'll see our flaws and we'll discredit our like whatever. And it's kind of really hard to put a price on your art, because it's not really the intention behind it for the first place, or at least that's how it started. And like, I've tried doing a full-time artist gig, and it really took, when it became like, I have to do this, it was the hardest time ever to actually feel the creativity and like want to do it. But also just like, it's weird because I know a lot. Luckily, I understood business and the concept of just like business before.
Sounds like it was really valuable for you.
Yeah, so I know a lot of painters or just friends that like all they want to do is create. Like the last thing on their minds, posting stuff and doing the whole like promote the business.
Right.
Yeah.
And they hire like a, a brand manager or something for that. So luckily I think that's really helped me with mine is I'm all just 100% the books, the creator, and it's like tax season sucks every year. I dread it, know? So, but that's just part of it. And I think it's like, I've had people just it's inspiring for them to tell me like, hey, you like make me want to do, try doing my own thing. And it's cool. So yeah. Set by example.
What tell us more about your art collective thing? Like, when did you start that? And 2019, I think, is when I really wanted to debut it, but then the world came to a screeching halt. Yeah. It was at that Gem and Jam that year. I was just like, man, I was already starting to just sell all my friends' work that I do collabs with and stuff. But I just was working a 9 to 5 also and didn't have enough of my own art to fill up the space in my booth. So yeah, just all the homies I've met through the years and years of touring. So I love them. I love their work. I buy wholesale orders typically from them to start the business transaction and tell them, please work with me. So then I can resell their work at their price and not have to upcharge, a fee. And then, at that point too, when I sell their work, I reinvest back into them. But it's just homies helping homies. It kind of all started too with working with Jared. We did a Skull and Roses, and we've done collabs with the art painter Drew Brophy, and he did the he did the art for that year.
That's kind of
I think we met. That was that year we met. Yeah. So next to this booth, Drew got COVID really bad and went in like a 3-month coma, 3 months of
That's right.
3 months of recovery from that. So like, and he was in great shape as a human being. So we ran a little like art sales, silent auction type thing. And it had all the homies donate like originals and prints and whatever they could. And we raised like about, I think $3,000 or something for the family.
Heck yeah.
And it was just a really good feeling to like, just, cause I don't have health insurance, and it's like, I know a lot of my artists don't either, but, it's also a platform to present them cause I travel as much as I can. So it's just good exposure for them. So.
Wow.
You're doing what we're doing for them.
Exactly. It's
really
just people
are.
helping people. If I stand behind them and I love them, I want to help see them grow and succeed.
Well, that's one thing I love. I remember the first time seeing your booth coming up and being like, you did all this? And you're like, no, you broke it down. Is that common, like in the vendor lot of like?
It's kind of hard for me just because like I see all this different style of jewelry and this and that, where it's like, I can tell like whose works whose, but it's because I have to. But I do know people that are like painters and jewelers and glass blowers, and they do have like a pretty big setup of just all their work. So it's not far fetched for people to believe that. But if you looked at my booth, it's like that's a lot of time and work to make all that.
Yeah.
Corey,
I always like to go back to people's roots. So I'm curious, like about young Braden, like what was your family like? What did you dream about doing as a young kid versus where you are now? Like,
so as young Braden, so I'm adopted.
Okay.
Grew up in very white people. Okay. I consider myself Caucasian for the most part. American.
Word up.
Yeah, word up. But I love my dad to death. My adopted dad, he taught me like your word's your bond, and what you put into this life, you'll get out, and nothing comes free or easy. And just work hard, hard. And he also taught me like you never know who's watching, and that's one thing I've really kept in mind. Like you don't know who's watching. That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yes.
Like I've gotten a lot of job promotions.
Both.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. I guess young Braden first job I ever wanted to be was a marine biologist because I just love the ocean, I guess.
Oh, okay, right on.
And then eventually throughout high school, parents were like, you need to be a civil engineer. You need to be an x-ray technician.
Oh, okay.
All the dream jobs they want their kids to be.
Right.
And I went to school for that. And
Which one?
X-ray technician?
I tried both. So I started as trying to go to be a civil engineer, halfway through switched to be x-ray tech, halfway through the anatomy, physiology brain courses, I was just checked out. And that was just because I didn't stop going to school. I did college courses in high school and then never stopped. And I told my mom and dad, I was like, just give me a summer, just give me like one long break to like figure it out. And they didn't want me to because they thought I would just not want to go back, and it just drove me not to even want to finish. So
yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
There's a lot of pressure.
Well, I don't think anybody really grows up and is like, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be on tour. Selling jewelry.
Well, right. And
you don't really see that to know that.
I luckily and during that same time too, I got tied in with some medical facility cannabis gardens, and we were taking care of a few cancer patients and stuff. And eventually I ended up owning my own. It was better than, I was like, I'm spending thousands at school that I hate, and it's complete opposite doing that. Totally. Yeah. And I've been in the industry since then. I work at a rec farm nowadays, but yeah. So
what farm?
Sugar Buds.
Nice.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, you're in the industry, no Sugar Buds.
Dude, with that new facility they built, it's humongous. It's crazy.
What? Go ahead, Corey.
Sorry. What did your folks do for work? I'm just curious how
super hard working in America. So my mom worked for what was it? I don't think it was AT&T ever. It was Quest but telephone communication company.
Okay.
She installed telephone lines to houses and stuff.
Sure.
So very physical labor, ladders, crawling under houses and stuff. And then my dad worked for PGE and then Bonneville Power for 40 years or something. But big construction electricity. So
power. It's like what I do. For real.
Oh, really?
For Comcast.
Oh, no shit. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So he's been a lineman. He built substations. He's deaf as hell because a transformer blew up on site once and then he lost.
Oh shit.
So it's funny, me and my just terrible music habits.
Right.
We are on the phone together and we'll just be yelling on the
What do they think about what you're doing?
They support it. They
good.
At first mom didn't understand because she's very they're traditional,
right?
And there times you do this career, you get a retirement, blah
you
blah
get
blah,
insurance.
yeah. But also they've worked construction or physical labor their whole life, so they retired, but their bodies are broken. So it's are you guys really enjoying your retirement? That's another story.
That's a whole.
That's their story.
But what was I gonna say?
Welcome to the American nightmare.
Right. But no, they
American
do
dream.
they've always knew I was pretty talented. As a kid, I doodled a lot, drew and painted, took classes, and then I think it was finally when I was telling them this weekend I made $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever, and that's the one thing I'd love for them to see me in my prime at a festival with the booth running. But with the settings that we're in, they would just never be able to see that.
They'd see everything else.
Yeah.
I'd go in a heartbeat.
No, you're not common. You're not a common parent.
They're
Sorry.
square bears.
Yeah,
The
and
funny
you're part of that world.
But when I would think as a mother, any mother, whenever your kid is doing, you would want to just at least one time, you work in a nightclub. I don't go to nightclubs, but I want to see you being the bouncer. I want to see you
check
do
it out.
whatever. You know,
I think the world that we are in from the outside can seem really dangerous.
Yeah.
Or
it's very
weird.
Yeah, and we're taboo. And
we recently heard a story from a friend talking about his parents coming to a thing and mom being like, I'm pretty sure they were doing drugs. And he's like,
they were smoking marijuana.
And he's like, Mom, I know they were doing drugs. You don't have to think they were doing drugs, but they were doing it discreetly away from things. So thanks for your concern, but yes, they were doing drugs. And they were doing it
makes them
correctly.
face certain things that maybe they're not ready to.
Yeah.
I don't think my mom ever smoked weed, and I proved it because when I was living with her last year or two, I was 18, 19. I was trimming weed for my dad's buddy, and I was coming home stinking it was really good weed too. And she even she would even be like, "You smell like a skunk. You smell like a skunk." And I thought it'd be funny. She'd even call my sister. My sister's 9 years older, and she's like, "Your brother's he's smelling weird." And she's like, "I don't know." So
smelling weird.
The chemicals at work, Mom.
No, so she even would buy me. She bought me all new deodorant, body wash. She's like, "I don't know what's going on," but and
thinking it's hygiene.
Yeah, puberty. Yeah, we joke. Yeah, eventually we talked about it. We joke about it, and that's actually the funny conversation with my dad. We're on a road trip together, and or like driving somewhere, and it's a long, quiet pause in the car, and I finally was like, "Hey, I grow weed," and he's like, we were wondering, we know you have some nice things, and you're not working a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, your stepmom thought you were stripping, and I'm like, oh, I wish you'd have asked me, like.
That's awesome.
I am doing that too.
That was
That's
the
just
other
for
part.
fun.
Hey, that's a compliment, man.
I get it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's good
That's
shit.
a compliment.
That is
Well,
awesome. Like, damn, mom, you thought I was stripping? All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
like, what? I guess when's the intervention? Like, what's the point? No, but so yeah, no, they're great. They definitely support what I'm doing. They're just always in my ear with, have you thought of retirement or whatever? And like, who knows if I'll ever.
What do you think about that as a businessman?
I would love to have some security knowing I don't have to work the rest of my life, but with the world we live in nowadays, and I'm a conspiracy theorist, but who knows what kind of future that's even going to be. And if there is a retirement or social security or 401k. So I don't know. I'm enjoying life now and still trying to save money in the process, but
It's hard.
it is hard. The world's
Dude,
hard.
It's even like I still work a day job, but we're making No Simple Road our full-time thing.
Yeah.
Doing that. And that's like one of the biggest things on my mind is like, well, I'm supporting like a family.
Right.
We're supporting a family with this thing. And what's going to happen? Apple and I aren't young.
Right.
I'm 51.
Right.
And that's a thing. But on the flip side of that, I was talking to my son about this a couple weeks ago. There's no fucking guarantee that I'm going to be here tomorrow.
That dude.
There is no guarantee. Like nobody said just because I'm here today, I get to be here tomorrow.
Yep.
So I can put all the money I want away for 10, 20 years from now and die in 5. And then for what? Now, and I missed out on going to Fish Mexico and seeing fucking Widespread Panic in Milwaukee and going and doing all this shit.
How dare you say that to me?
That was just for you, Jordan, Jamie. And so I miss out on all these experiences that make my life richer and inform who I am as a human being on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And now all I'm doing is just working to fucking put ones and zeros in a bank account.
I got buddies that make more money than I could even know what to do with, and they're miserable. And their heads, they're us, and they hear about oh man, I wish I'd have been there. I wish I'd have done that. And it's like you of all people can do that right now, but you just can't. You don't, or and other constructs are prohibiting that. But I've been in a good, comfortable position in my life too, but just more money, more problems almost sometimes. I don't know. Yeah.
What I say on that note, I gotta depart.
Oh,
More money, more problems.
To the day job thing. So
Tell buddies we said what's up.
Yeah, shout out
Corey, if you want to
buddies.
take his seat and take his mic, you're more than welcome.
Oh, yeah. Love you, Apple.
don't touch my headphones.
Don't touch his headphones, so he gets weird about his headphones, like feral.
Like something about me.
It's scary.
Use his mic, but don't fucking touch those headphones, all right?
Love you.
Later, Apple. We love you, buddy.
All right. Bye, Apple. See you this evening.
There's a lot of younger folks that listen to the show in their early mid-20s that have just found this whole thing
Scene.
Or just coming into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's a treacherous road.
There's
It's not
a
simple. It's definitely not. And no pun intended.
Oh my God,
And,
that's a pun for sure.
I think that part of the duty of No Simple Road is to give advice where we can, because we've walked the path.
Yeah, learn from our hard knocks.
Right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody that's wanting to do I want to get into the festival circuit and start selling?
I'm
and
artistic.
Yeah.
And
What do I do, man?
I was thinking about this actually driving here.
Oh, really?
Just proper planning. Have save up enough money, have enough product to present it as you were here to do. You're not just a couple paintings or a couple this and that's. and professionality is key. A business card makes you look steps above a lot of people too, when you just can hand someone that little business card. And also just like, yeah, people won't,
like you're taking it seriously.
yeah, exactly. It's just showing you have that little love and you're trying to present it like it's a real thing. But also just don't be discouraged, because like with any business, I think they say like if it takes 5 to 7 years to actually see like the real profits and gains and like growth and, you know, what it's doing. And it is. Luckily I'm on my thing for my jewelry business. I'm going on like year 10, and with vending.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah,
We're in 2023,
with vending
man.
and stuff, kind of doing this. So now I'm getting like people asking if I want to come to the events or vend, and like,
Oh shit.
yeah,
really?
so it's cool now. Yeah, you know, you build it, and that's like with any business, the more you put in, you'll get out. You don't expect anything to happen if you're not putting in the time and the legwork and like, yeah.
We just had this conversation before you got to the house.
Yeah, it's like any small. And thank God for Instagram and all the platforms. The algorithms kind of screw people over nowadays. But yeah, just really taking advantage of exposure, and I think that's helped my business the most. Is I love a lot of different music. So I'm in the white boy reggae scene, the country scene, bluegrass scene, EDM scene. So like, just really tapping into like a lot of how much people you can, and also having a product that's digestible to the every person. Like it doesn't take a hippie, it can be an old grandma or something to really still appreciate the art.
Yes.
Okay.
Diversity in your craft.
Yep. And then but yeah, just really just don't be discouraged, because you know, there's been a lot of times where it's questioning like, why am I even doing this?
Yes.
But then you have a great profitable show, and there's nothing better feeling, you know. It's like I paid bills and fed myself and was able.
And gave people something dope.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
I forget that too. Like, no, I forget, because I have all my like little treasures and the trinkets and jewelry and this and that. It's like one day it hit me. I was like, oh, I make that for people.
Yeah,
and it's
do,
like,
man.
that's cool. You
You
know,
know, you gave me when we were at Cascade, you gave me a keychain.
yeah.
It's got like red rocks and
Yeah. So we,
that's like one of my favorite things. Every time I pull out my keys, I'm like, fuck it.
and that's it's like I do that mainly for the ripple effect. Like I love just knowing like in the future we had a little con moment, you know, and
Yeah.
and that's the worst thing. Like I feel terrible. I would need to be better with names, but also it's like as vendors we meet hundreds or thousands of people a
Yes.
day, you know, so it's like, oh man, I know your face, and but it's like what state were we in, and like what, yeah, but
In what state were we in? In more ways than
yeah,
one.
like physically and yeah. So yeah, it's but it's awesome too, because I have this community and family of just like that was the like Equinox. All my vendor touring gypsy friends that I only see if we're at the right show together in the country, we're there, and then all the Oregon.
I was just gonna say that was a big Oregon Country Fair,
dude.
presence at Cascade.
Like a lot, and I don't know, just the good job Equinox, but like
Fuck yeah, man.
yeah,
Shout out Equinox.
all the
We love you.
music, like they staged it well to where like they had a very like, if Fantagram wasn't there the first day, I feel like a lot of people would like, there's certain people that came for certain days, I feel like, but it meshed well. I told everyone like I didn't see one ambulance, and that's always the worst thing to see at a first festival.
Yes.
You know? And it was curated, beautifully.
Dude, I love the way that you had like choose your own adventure with them.
Yeah.
When one stage ended, depending on what you were into, you had choices.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I got to go watch EDM if I'm
Right.
going to do it. You had
Yeah.
other shit to go. And it was perfectly set.
Mm-hmm.
And the grounds being so small, everything was like a 10-minute.
Well, like the half, exactly. Like when we were setting up, and you know, before everyone else and the vendors were just setting up, I was like looking, I was like, I can see end to end right now. Like this is great. And but yeah, no, it was a really, hopefully it happens more, and it was really well
You
done.
guys had a dope spot there too.
We had a really good spot. Yeah.
Great spot.
Yeah.
You know, something that's not talked about that is really interesting to me. I learned this when I was on tour with the Dead. There's a whole like system in place that's going on lot between like everybody that's touring together. That family takes care of itself.
Oh yeah.
And there's a a way to act and a way not to, and there's things you do and there's things you don't.
Yeah, I mean, word travels fast on lot, and it's just like we're a family too, where we've been there where it's like, oh shit, our easy ups blew away, or we forgot, a power cord or some, light, blah blah blah. So we're always there trying to help each other out, because it's like, hopefully if we were in that position, someone would come around. But it is, we see damn near the same faces, like, Third Eye Pine Cones or Grassroots. They're always, there's a crew of people that are, the crew. But yeah, we love each other. We're the homies. And also there's kind of like, there's always lot drama. Sometimes someone sleeps with someone's chick or, all that. But yeah, just a different type of politics almost. But also it's like, we keep it on lot. So like, if we do well and someone didn't do that great that weekend, go help out the homies and support the friends. And
that's the kind of shit. Like, I think the world could learn a lot from the lot.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people take care of each other. And like you said, when there's an issue, it stays there and it's dealt with fast.
Right.
That shit, like, it gets squashed quickly.
Right.
And, but the whole thing of like, you don't have what you need this week and I have extra. Here's my extra so that you have what you need.
I mean, that was the craziest time, or when it's really happened for us, is we were leaving Sonic Bloom, heading to Electric Forest, and got in a car accident. This guy came across the freeway, 4 lanes, spun around because he hit the barricade, and we hit him head on going 50 miles per hour. And I was like, tour's over. Like, our vans were on the side of the road. We have to get to Michigan in 18 hours. But Jared once again showed me what's possible, and we got in a rental, got the gear switched into the rental car, and booked it to Michigan for vendor check-in the next day. And it was literally like NASCAR pit stop, get gas, maybe see as much food that you can like try eating, because it's all just garbage.
Yeah. Gas station.
And then just load up and go. And then the goal was like, all right, we'll get our credentials and then we'll find a Walmart or something and resupply, because like we didn't have water.
Oh shit.
We pull up and they're like, oh no, you can't leave premise. Like, you're on site. And so we did the SOS, and all of our vendor homies that hadn't been there yet were still showing up. Luckily, she came like a case of water, some lunch meat, this and that. So just, people helping people,
Dude,
I want to talk about something that's amazing. But I wanted to talk about being healthy on the road.
Oh shit.
How, you spend so much time on the road. And so the road is your home.
Yeah.
And so how do you make it accessible and realistic to be healthy?
That's now, even to after a decade of doing this, I'm finally refining it. And like, it helped when I was with my ex, we were definitely better about it. But just meal prepping's huge. But the problem is, cooler gets weird after day 2. And then so I've learned like pasta salads without any like mayonnaise products and stuff, and just things that are like a little less perishable. But like hunter gatherer foraging, a lot of fruit, a lot of nuts, a lot of jerky. Also eat even if you're not hungry before a show, like calorie up. Like, this is the time you need to, because then I've been too many times where it's like, oh, I made a mistake. Like, I worked all day, put the booth together, forgot to even like take care of myself. But that's the hugest balance, and like really, wanting to enjoy yourself and party, like take care of the fundamentals, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But powdered juice kind of stuff, there's like this actual company called Juice, Juice. But it's like all the antioxidants, all the superfoods, it's all stuff you can pronounce on the back of it. And just finding those little tricks. But it's harder, I definitely know, for like all my vegan, vegetarian friends when they're on the road, because when you stop at the middle America, you don't have any options except
when you're
like
at Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Or even like, in Indiana or something, they have like, I forget the name, but it's some weird random grocery store. And then it makes me appreciate home even more, because like I've seen this country and it's a little bit ugly in some spots, flat, and like not a lot going on, and or like your options for just food is limited.
Have you guys run into any like, let me back up, because you mentioned living up here in the Pacific Northwest. The attitude towards folks like us is pretty relaxed up here. We're not really a target up here. But as you get out of the West Coast and into those flat parts of the country, we're not normal.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys run into any issues on the road?
Luckily my boss, cause he grew up, or Jared, when we were traveling together, he's from Florida and like kind of Georgia bleed out, like northern Florida and stuff. And the way he looks too, he's a man, so he can hang. But and he grew up in the biker scene too, so he knows how to pitch the shit and stuff. But I've definitely kind of felt it here and there, depending on, I guess, where we'd be. Like Texas was a little weird sometimes. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of a redneck myself growing up here. So
not known, like you've never been shaken down on the road.
No. Look, no. But we've heard those horror stories where definitely like that's our rule when we travel. We make sure there's nothing in the car, because we've heard stories of just like they find a doobie or a roach and then they confiscate all the people's merch and their money from that weekend because they said they could connect it with drug sales or all this crap. And that's some of those states I like.
That'll wipe up a business.
Oh yeah, but it's like, why do you throw these festivals in these states, guys? Like, what we do, but
what we do.
Yeah. So like, or what people do. So I don't know, but also just like mind your manners and but it is like our van, we have stickers and stuff and dead stuff. So it's like, what's funny, I always joke like you see the vans on lot with like the airbrush cool, like whatever, and
mural
like,
on the side.
How do you know, officer? Like,
yeah. No, man. It was coming up. It was a different world. If you had a dead sticker on your car, you were a target.
Well, I remember they had an article trying to say they were like a gang, trying to affiliate the Steely and stuff with the gang. It's like, no, we're not ICP. We're
we're not juggalos. Yeah, But when you get out of the West Coast, I think the attitude is different. And, you've had the opportunity to see a lot of the country, man. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's 50-50. Like it sucks because there's a lot of times we're just we have to get point A to point B, or we're exhausted from the show. Yeah. So I get better if I'm like just soloing. Like I'll make sure to try doing a national park or like some cool scenery stuff. But there's my favorite meme is like, oh, you travel for work, must see the coolest things, and it's a Love's, a Walmart, and a Bleak, highway, and it's like, yeah, for the most part, that's it. And I'm the night shift when we tour. Like if we're doing a really long drive, I can just stay up all night, and I really enjoy it. Like just seeing sunrise, like nice. I crushed 2 states last night. Yeah. But it's always funny. Like I always am doing the mid or like Dakota middle area of the country, and it's always like thunder and light or like lightning, but no rain. So you get this cool light show the whole way coming.
Dope.
Yeah. Cool.
So the other part of all of this that we haven't talked about that nobody really talks about out in the open is substances.
Yeah.
How do you living in the scene?
Yep.
It's everywhere. How do you manage it for yourself to stay okay?
Yeah.
Dude, a 4-day run.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
When it's over.
Like we touched on diet. Diet's crucial. Also working a booth, sleep, just being professional. Like you're not there just to party. Like there's a priority in things, and but also that's like me and the event. We are they're a special breed almost. Whether it's like your pre-curricular activity up until the festival point, or I've been festivaling so long, it was my first rodeo type of thing. But it is, a lot of people think they can hang, and they're like, yeah, I can work a booth or this and that. And it's like, work hard, play hard. We don't care what you do after hours, but if you're not there to hit the yoga moms in the 9 a.m. rush of people and look good doing it, like you're not going to work for us, or, so
shit.
Or just like, you got to
bug-eyed and sweaty
act accordingly. And we're on the level too. And like, I'm not room to talk because I've been, but just like,
you're talking about the ideal situation.
Yeah. You got to be present. You got to, there's a lot of people that, and it's not good for vendors when like there's still people out and half a shakedown's closed, so it's like, so And it's understandable when it's like, you know, a certain show, it's like, oh, Pretty Lights or Tipper. It's like, obviously, like, yeah, people are going to be closed for that set or something, you know. But yeah, just really knowing your limits and but it's one of those things, like, it gets you by to get to stay up till 4 a.m.
to get to the next thing.
Yeah. And then but yeah, just, you know, be in control. And like, I got buddies that he just drinks coffee and smokes weed. And like, he's just wired different though too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just finding what works for you, I guess.
Yeah. It's tough. And especially when all the brakes are off.
Yeah.
Like you're in that world and it's free for all the time.
Yeah.
It takes, like you said,
self-policing.
It takes a special breed.
Yeah. It's really easy to get lost in the sauce, you know, and but also, yeah, I think just everyone out, as far as vendors and business profession, like taking it as a business side of things, like, yeah, that's how they survive, you know? So it's like, you gotta
fuck around with your livelihood. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's a trip too we've experienced this with No Simple Road. Is the thing that you did for fun is now what you're doing for work.
Right.
And now you have to approach it in a
from
completely
that
different manner. Like we had a couple of festivals where we just like weren't on point because we were fucking around.
Yep. And then it's just, you know, it's not the best image for the brand depending on what you're looking like or what's happening. Yep. And you always have to account for those facts too. Just like word travels fast, and any bad review is better than, or is, you know, stands above any good review, you know.
What the fuck is that too?
Right?
Yeah, man.
You know, you can have 100 great reviews and then one person with some bias, you know.
See how they are.
Yeah. And it's like, what were you doing? Here, let's see what.
Nice try.
Yeah.
It's cool though that, you know, you were talking earlier about how things are weird and you're a conspiracy theorist, and I'm in the same boat with you, man.
It's good to question things. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. How does everybody know what's right? How can you be so sure of what's right?
Because it's on the internet, Mel.
Oh,
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks for.
Or like, it's just
said that.
It must be real if it's on the internet. Come on.
No, but it's cool that this thing exists even now to give people an avenue if they want an out from that corporate.
I mean,
there's
just like for instance, I shouldn't, but like my buddy Critter Clips, like they crush it at sale, like at festivals. They make like hundreds of thousands.
Is that
with little ears?
Yeah.
Like literally, I heard stories of them making like $200,000 in a weekend. You know,
Whoa.
damn. And like so they're selling tapestries, and it's like these festivals have like 80,000 kids and stuff. But you know, it's really just like finding your niche, finding that market, and tapping into it. And it's.
Well, I mean, the world tells us that if you're working out there, that's the only way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't see that there's a way out.
You know, you take a step to the left or the right, you jump, you squat. There's all these different, there's all these different angles.
Yeah, man.
And I've always saw that too. Like I just never, as a kid, I always said, I want to be my own boss, not knowing what that even really meant, but I just don't really like being told what to do or, you know, anything like that. But, and then after really working with some really terrible bosses and businesses, it's like, I want to be my own boss.
This is bullshit. Yeah. It's crazy, man. And one of the weirdest parts of all of it is when you do finally become your own boss, realizing that some of the shit that you learned when you were doing those terrible fucking jobs, you have to do yourself now.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned doing your taxes earlier.
Dude, I
didn't know that was a thing I had to do for No Simple Road. Right. I had to fucking do that. Like,
and I mean, that was even just like crazy. My buddies all went to like as an alternative high school program and eventually got accredited as like a national known high school. But like all those teachers cared about those kids because they were kind of like the fuck ups and like the bad kids or whatever. But like, all my homies I went there know how to do their taxes when they left and like how to do a proper resume and all this like things that they didn't teach us for shit at times. Cool, yeah, man. So,
well, you know, if you could go back to your 19-year-old self that just woke up after that first night at fair and give him some advice, what would it be?
Oh man. buy Bitcoin. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Invest in Apple, bro.
yeah, no, I can remember the taste of the air the first time I heard about Bitcoin. But I would tell him to. Man, that's a deep one too.
Yeah.
Sleep more.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Take vitamins.
Just keep follow what you love. Follow the passion, because like the universe provides if you're just really receptive to it. And like, I guess I would tell him just follow the path of least resistance, because it seems like any times I've fought things and really just like forced it, it just wasn't meant to be type of thing. So, and all the things I've really been really good were natural and organic and like, yeah, just easy.
Yeah, man.
So,
and also like paying attention to the signs too.
Yeah.
That shit's real.
I believe in more than coincidence and more than, or just, they're just like, yeah, certain times where it's like too eerie not to you got to give it some credit.
How do you account for that? Like, what do you think that is, or where does that come from?
Jesus, man.
It's
that's big.
Are we having a conversation?
No, it's I think also giving it a little faith into just the high powers that be outside of, whatever. But like, I just certain festivals I've been, like one of my homegirl Jamie. We were at summer camp together. I knew people at that festival that I didn't see all weekend, but like I bumped into this girl every night just randomly and stuff. And it's like, obviously we have to be friends. Like the universe wants us to be friends and stuff. And we're festy homies. We'll meet up a couple times a year just to go party together, festivals. But there's just those people in the world that you meet that where it's like you were meant to, and it's more than just like we're gonna be actual friends outside of this such situation. But just being receptive to, I'm a big number person too, and I feel like numerology and synchronicity things kind of go hand in hand. But just being receptive, trust your gut, or just the clues.
Yeah, man. And being available and open for the clues to show up for you too.
Yeah.
And, the older that I get, the more I realize that like those synchronicities and clues and stuff that happen are accompanied with a feeling.
Yeah.
There's like, when it happens, the hair stands up on your arms, or you could just feel it in your gut. Like, oh, wow. And a lot of times we just write that off to like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention and like lean into it, that's how really incredible magical shit starts to happen in the world for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that 90% of what's happened with us is that like those moments.
Right place, right time, set.
It just kept coming
how we met you.
Right.
Like,
I mean, yeah, I feel like really just like you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be at that time. But like, yeah, it's a trip.
Well, when you're in what's the word for it? Like in the psychedelic vibe, when you're there, you've stripped away the brakes of default reality.
Right.
And so that energetic connection that, I mean, we're all basically the same thing in different parts. Those brakes are removed.
Yeah.
And so that thing is working more easily.
Well, that's I can probably try starting a conversation with some random person on the street, but like really it's like in that setting, you'd be like, hey, how's it going? Just to anybody next to you. And I'm a big believer of you never know what a conversation turns into. Like that one cigarette break has turned into like a wholesale account or a this or that, so you really just can't.
That's how it was when I talked to Jared at Cascade.
Yeah.
I bought a patch.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I got my sewing machine here. And then we got to talking. He was like, the whole thing happened.
Yeah. And no, it's the beauty of just saying hi,
Wow.
The beauty of
strangers
saying hi.
stopping strangers to shake their hands.
Yeah.
It's like the dead new stuff. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Braden, what do you like? Let me think about this. What do you want people to know about you?
Mel's hitting to the fence today.
I know, I like it though. That when you meet me, this isn't me 100%. You're never meeting a facade or a fronted version. But I only have the best intentions. And if I see something in you. As far as art goes, I will try to support it as much as possible or figure out how to make you excel in that.
That's dope.
But yeah, like nature, art, and music. And I'm still trying to figure out the order. I think music, nature, art. But those are the things that keep me alive. You know, they keep me worth waking up for the next day and seeing what it's going to be.
How do you navigate the off season?
Or
is there an off season for you?
There is. Right now it is kind of coming to a close. This is actually the first year I've been really proactive about just like figuring out the gigs for like venues, and look, you know, thank God Blake's the man at the Get Down.
Fuck yeah.
Wow. Shout out Blake. We love you.
And just like tapping in with the local band scene and stuff here. So just trying to be a wook whenever I can. Yeah. And, but also it's taxing too. Cause it's like, do I want to load my car up with 8 totes of rocks and clothing and this and that just to not have anything happen? But you never know until you try. It's one of the, yeah.
So is he letting you do stuff vend in that space?
If there's no merch for the band, and then there was a little back hall, but now they have like the photo booth and stuff.
We should have him vend for our deal.
Oh, in December?
7th. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you when we're done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah. So yeah, just trying to find gigs. And actually, I'm just that's the most recent news. One of my painter friends at the Haven Art Collective.
Shout out Haven.
Haven, yeah, totally. She's about to have a baby, so I'm subleasing one of her spots, and we'll have a little flagship office
cool.
for her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. Yeah, just proactive, like online helps. The holiday stuff helps. Really just being more adamant about posting stuff. But I just use the winter usually because the weather's not the best, just to make art. That's the time I'd get prepared for the next year.
It never stops.
It never stops.
Well, life doesn't stop.
No. And if I really had like
well,
more
at
time,
a certain point,
there's not enough time in the day, honestly. Yeah.
Same.
Can we ask about, I'm always curious to ask artists about their process. Like, how are you drawing inspiration? Like, what does a creation process look like for you?
I hate Instagram, or I hate Facebook, but Instagram, because my roommate will give me so much shit. He's like, man, you're just scrolling and you look like a zombie. And I am, but you sift through, like, I follow a lot of like amazing painters and jewelers and stuff. So I get kind of little snippets from the pictures of what I'm seeing. It's like, that could be an idea or something new to try, or like, and also it's a good, just like, I want to collab with this person, or what, things like that. But the process would mainly be like head frame, because I work a 9 to 5, or like 5 days a week, and the first day off is like laundry and
recovery.
Catching up, and then like some days it's like I have time and I don't even want it because I'm just not mentally there to even like give it what I know it's gonna be or take to even try attempting that. So that's the toughest part with kind of the art. It's just like finding the energy and like just getting off your butt and doing it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like forcing.
So it's not like a process where you like, 10 to 2, I'm going to put the 2 hours
and I've
in.
thought about like, definitely this winter, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm going to get a gym membership again though. But like my buddy Jared was doing that. I was like, he had a regimen of like, take the dog for a walk, clean the house. And then once all these things were covered, then it's like, now I can not worry about anything except making art now. It's like, there's no distraction.
Prepare your day to get into your art mode.
Yeah. And I'm a big believer too of just like, an object in motion stays in motion. So that little catalyst of just making your bed in the morning could, turn into who knows.
Right. So, carry through the day.
Yeah.
It's a trip. The juxtaposition between the summer months of like go.
Yeah.
And then once October, November hits, the brakes are on, and it's like you almost have to readjust to life all over again.
Well, especially out here too, like we're hippies because like we only have that section of sun throughout the year. So you do everything you possibly can. And then, as I always joke, like we have 2 weeks of fall, and then it's just like,
Yep. Yeah. Wow. So if folks are interested to see your stuff and buy some of your shit, where can they go?
So now, I don't know how long I'll be at the Haven for, probably a few months. But so I'll have kind of like a little flagship office there. I'll do private showings. Then when there's events happening at the Haven, I'll be open. Other than that, just the local scene. Follow my Instagram, JG Wire Jewelry, and I'm pretty good about posting where I'm going to be or what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
no Etsy shop or anything.
No,
like that. Okay.
I really need to, and there's just a lot of keeping up with it. And
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Wow, dope. Thank you, man.
Thank you guys.
This is so
Yes.
fucking fun.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I just do you do commission pieces?
I love to. I prefer nowadays to. It honestly comes out better in my eyes just because I have the person in mind when I'm making it.
Yeah.
And I always try incorporating their birthstone as long as it's not like April, like a diamond or something. And
Sorry, April.
yeah, and just making it more unique. But yeah, and like, thank you, Jared. But like the leather work for me more. So nowadays has been more profitable, or just more like sales have been more active because it's a functioning thing. Like jewelry is a luxury you can live without, but you use your belt every day, use a wallet every day, and stuff like that. So
That's it.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, at JG Wire Jewelry on Instagram. Go check it out. Shit is amazing, and he's dope poi spinner.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and so that's the thing too. I'll eventually get in my art collective, Crow's Nest Collective. It's under construction right now, but on my personal Instagram, there's jewelry. But there's also fire spinning and hippie stuff. So
Have you burned the shit out of yourself?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it at least once.
Is it? What made you decide you wanted to start spinning poi?
Actually, it started with I saw staff and like that. I thought that was going to be my proper choice, and then it just didn't come. And I tried poi, and it just was a more natural feel to it. But yeah, country fair, first time seeing it. All my friends that were girls I brought, like, oh my, they're drooling, and I'm like, oh, I need to figure this out. No, but it's also funny because nowadays, like, it's my meditation. I don't believe everyone needs to sit cross-legged. Like, I feel real zen.
You could see it
in those
when
moments.
you're spinning. You could see that you're like in something,
flow state type of thing. Yeah,
it's
no,
dope.
it's a beautiful, and it's it's a really
really
fun
watching you light shit on fire. Like anybody do fire stuff, I'm like, what motivated them to catch that shit on fire and try it?
It's funny talking to these because it's like the people I first saw ever spin fire. Now we're like, it's cool because we're a very good community, close community. We're all friends now, and Portland has a lot of amazing, talented people. But they, like my buddy Spades was talking about back in the day, them like the learning curves of like they had to make their own props, and they were using who knows what for the fuels and stuff. So like the learning curve happened, but it's crazy to see where it is nowadays. Like there's festivals that are just specifically for fire flow arts.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's regional ones. So we have ours. It's Kindle, and it's on the Tillamook coast. But they have a thing called fire drums, and it's like a couple thousand people, and they're all just fire spinners, and it's cool.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and it's the workshops all day on like each prop every hour, like learning tosses or learning juggling or learning this or that. But at nighttime, it's just a army of people crushing it. And it's
that'd be dope.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah, man. All right.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Right.
Hey, everybody, go follow him on Instagram and
Hey.
at JG Wire Jewelry. And if you see him out there at a festival, Lost Sailor Leather.
Yep, working the booth or my booth.
What's your booth?
So nowadays it's the Crow's Nest Collective. It's my art collective. But yeah, if you see us, come say hi.
Go say hi. Tell him you heard him on No Simple Road.
Thanks for shedding some light on the scene from your perspective, because I feel like that's really important. Like Aaron said, a lot of people are getting into that scene, and to hear somebody that's actually doing it.
But follow your dreams and don't sell yourself short. If if people are saying you're talented or you got something, like
listen,
pursue it. Yeah.
Don't let your parents tell you have to have a day job.
No.
We love you guys. We'll see you in a little bit. Peace.
defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.